and welcome to How to Solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 Seconds. This is part one, and this part one is going to be a little bit of basic beginner stuff that many people probably already know. But I'm going to actually tell you that you should watch this, and I'm going to give you the headline right now. And the reason is because I solved the Rubik's Cube differently than other people solve the Rubik's Cube. In fact, what I use is what I call the X's and O's method. I actually do the corners first until I have an X on every side, and then I do the edges second. The reason I do this is because there are fewer turns needed to do that to solve the cube. And when you're trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in under 30 seconds, you need as few moves as possible. This may be a review for some of you, but bear with me. We all know that the centers do not move. The centers are the only thing here. The centers are the only thing I put that can never move. You can move everything around, but the white and the yellow will always be opposite from each other. The green and the blue are always opposite each other. It may be different on other types of cubes, but know that no matter what you do, you cannot move the middle. That's obvious for most people who are already solving the Rubik's Cubes. Also obvious to most people solving Rubik's Cube is that these edges and these corners are linked together. In other words, this corner here, let me put this back. So now that I've got the puzzle back together, this corner here, the orange, yellow, blue, always must go with the orange center, the yellow center, and the blue center. The yellow-blue edge must always go with the yellow-blue edge. While there are other yellow pieces, they must always go with their corresponding middles. Okay, so I'm going to mess up the cube just to sort of get going here. It is. Well, for the purpose of what we're doing, it's fine. All right, so here's the mixed up cube, and we're going to move on to step one. And step one is the corners, the top corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom corners, 1, 2, 3, 4, will be done in the next step. The top corners are the easiest step of the whole thing. And the reason is because this is how you're starting to solve the cube. And before you, in a championship, solve the cube, the first thing that you get to do is look at the cube. And I'm going to tell you that this is actually one of the most crucial decisions you're going to make in solving the Rubik's Cube. Because what you're actually going to think about is you're going to look at the center of every piece and say, which side can I get all four corners lined up exactly right as quick as possible? So like if we were to look at the blue side, I have a blue, yellow, red, which is great. I can just obviously slide that into place, but I've got another blue here and one here. It's actually going to take about 10 moves to get all of these blues on, so that's not a good side. And I'm going to suggest we do the white because I see there's a white here, and I can bring that up in a move, and I can see there's a white here with an orange, which will match this, so that in one move of twisting this white here and this white here, I'm going to have two already in place. I then can see already that once I've done that, the other two will be very close by to just sort of put up into place. So 1, 2, that's already done. 3, that's already done. And then the fourth one, which is right here, I can easily stick into its place. I'm actually not going to show you how to do that because if you're watching this video on how to solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds, you know how to put a piece from the bottom to the top. All right, I'm going to quickly teach you. So you need to get that piece there. The piece is there. You bring it down. You move it in. You bring it up. So there you go. Now what you see is we have green, green, red, red, blue, blue. And you can turn it if it makes it easier for you so that you can see that the middles match. In a speed competition, you don't have time to keep doing that. You've just got to know that the relationships of these pieces all work and keep going. Worry about the middles later. Notice what I'm not worrying about at all is I'm not worrying about the edges in any way. The method where they do the top and so forth, you do this first. I don't care about that right now. These are all going to come together later. It took us all of 6 moves. which is about 2 seconds. And we are already 4 of the 8 pieces done with the Rubik's Cube. This is going to be the end of part 1. If you move on to part 2, we're going to put the final X on every side, and you're going to see it's an additional 10 moves, and it's done. Come back if you have any questions. Please ask me. I'm happy to answer. Subscribe to my channel, and I will. You'll be able to see other things that we're going to do. And stick around for part 2.